So with everything set up, I'm now going to unpause the game and we'll just get going and we'll just get some play going on. Now this is your speed marker down here. Now I'm actually going to up this to speed 4. You might just want to leave it on normal when you're starting out, but I want to see if we can trigger some things going on. Now you can see as we're doing stuff that things are kicking in. Our liege is passing laws. I'm not going to explain what lots of these things are because, you know, some of the things you want to discover for yourself. Again, I'll iterate that. If you hover over things, you can see what they mean. And don't get worried if you're sitting there getting, oh, I don't understand what any of this means early on. You'll pick it up as the game goes on. And maybe you'll miss an important thing and your entire run will go hilariously wrong. That's literally part of the game. That's fine. What you will find is that for particularly important things, like what's just popped onto screen right now, the game will automatically pause. You can also pause it yourself at any time by hitting spacebar or just clicking on the date. But the game will try and remember to automatically pause if it's a thing that requires a decision from you. Now, if you remember in your last video, I said I didn't expect our Basileus, our liege, to offer us a job at any point. But it appears that he has different views. He has decided that whether we count as a powerful vassal or not, presumably because we've got good stewardship, in the same way as we were making decisions and going, well, shall I have a good steward? He's decided he wants a good steward as well. And he has offered us the job. Now, we can decline this if we want to. No real reason to it for us, certainly at the moment. We are going to accept. Now, the game is still paused. Now, what does that actually mean? Well, just to show you quickly, you can see that it now says I'm on my liege's council and I'm a steward. And there's two things you will immediately notice from this. Here you can see all the benefits that's giving us. And did you see how powerful it is to get on the council? We're now getting +3 tax per month from our own territory. We're now getting more 20% of things. Our building costs are going to go down. And we're getting an extra 20% boost to how quickly we're getting XP to unlock those new perks that we saw when we were looking at character perks. And you can see this reflected up here. We've now got 7.6 ducats a month. And hovering over that, we can see that some of that's taxes, but it is essentially because we're getting an extra 3 from here. So you might think, well, brilliant, we can save up. And we saw some buildings earlier that were 100 ducats to buy. We're not going to buy any buildings early on. We're going to start stashing some cash because we're going to need it. And again, here's where you're starting to kick in. You're starting to get random events kicking in already. And you can see I'm sitting in on a strategy meeting with Basileus and Duke Callistos, discussing our plans for the ongoing war. Basileus has decided to take a hands-off approach, allowing both Callistos and I to act as we see fit. Because actually our liege is in a war. He's defending in a war against someone else, which means technically we're in a war. We don't actually have to do anything, because we give him a percentage of our soldiers each month to worry about this stuff. And as you can see now, I've clicked on it, you can see he's got enough soldiers to beat this guy anyway, so he's doing his own thing, that's fine. But this is an example of the kind of events you're going to get spawning. And this is why I'd say early on play on normal speed, and don't panic when you get lots of events. This is the joy of the game. You're here to just kind of read the events and have fun and do things. I'm glad I have free reign to do what I wish. Again, hovering over it will tell you what you're going to do. I can see from hovering over this, it's going to give me some improved pillaging and improved defences. You don't know what that means. It's fine. It doesn't matter. You'll learn that over time. I'm glad to have free reign to do as I wish. And we'll just let the game run again. Now, the reason we're not spending money is you can see the timer ticking up here on us getting our claim on Antipatria. And that's critical to us because when this finishes, we're going to get an event that says, essentially, I've found a reason, my liege, to give you a claim on this place. And it's only going to cost you X amount of gold. And that gold is always going to be roughly about 100 ducats. But they might actually turn around if we're really lucky and say, I can give you a claim on this whole duchy, which would cost us more money. And we want to kind of avoid going into debt. Debt isn't game over in this game, but it's also not great. So my general advice when you're playing early on is try and keep yourself a little pot of gold at all times. Never spend down to 0. Always leave yourself at least, let's say, 50 ducats in the bank and allow for an extra 100 if you're fabricating a claim or doing similar. Because you just don't want to end up in debt and get a few unlucky events that maybe give you less troops or something else. So we'll watch for that. And we're going to get some other random events as we go through. Now, this is a really nice event to have. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to stop this video here because you've just seen a bit of a flow and a bit of how the game goes. And then we're going to deal with this event in the next video because it gives you a really handy guide to playing in character and what that means in terms of stress.
Mm-hmm.